Hands-on, Breitling Navitimer B01 Chronograph 43 watch. As one of the most famous luxury watch brands in the world and the company responsible for inventing the modern two-pusher chronograph, Breitling has quite a few noteworthy models in its portfolio. With that in mind, the Navitimer is easily Breitling's most famous watch, and its unique slide rule bezel has made it one of the true icons from the world of horology. Although the inaugural Chronomat was technically the first Breitling model to feature this signature detail, it ultimately became the Navitimer's calling card, and when someone says the word Breitling, it is usually the Navitimer that first comes to mind. I've always admired the Breitling Navitimer, and I love how the highly utilitarian design of a wrist-mounted analog flight computer ultimately became one of the most recognizable luxury watch designs in the world. However, as someone who has fairly thin wrists, most of the Navitimer models that have been released over the years are just a bit too large for my personal preferences, and their inherently rather bold styling does little to mitigate their size. Despite objectively being a fan of the Navitimer, it has always been a model that I have admired from afar. However, Breitling has been significantly expanding its signature collection in more recent years, and the current Breitling Navitimer B01 Chronograph 43 is a model that I could easily see myself wearing in everyday life. The current Breitling Navitimer collection includes watches with case sizes that range from 35 mm to 46 mm in diameter, with the chronograph models available in 41, 43 mm, and 46 mm. That said, it is the 43 mm version of the B01 chronograph that is the core offering within the lineup. And while 43 mm still represents a fairly sizable case diameter, it is significantly more manageable compared to the 46 and 48 monsters from the brand's back catalog that often come to mind when someone thinks of the Navitimer collection. On top of that, the listed 43 mm dimension actually refers to the diameter of the grooved rotating bezel that hangs over the edge of the case, and if you measure the diameter of the middle case itself, it actually comes in closer to 41 with an overall lug-to-lug profile of approximately 49 mm. Similarly, the official thickness of the Breitling Navitimer B01 Chronograph 43 is 13.6 mm. But that also includes the domed sapphire crystal with blue anti-reflective coating that sticks up above the rim of the bezel. While 43 mm Breitling Navitimer is hardly a shrinking violet, the watch itself ultimately wears noticeably smaller than its on-paper dimensions might otherwise suggest. Further helping mitigate the perceived size of the watch is its case finishing, and the sides of the stainless steel middle case receive linear brushing that contrasts against the polished top surfaces of the lugs. A similar approach is taken with the finishing on the pushers, which have brushed sides with high polished ends, and these brushed surfaces throughout the case components helps temper what can sometimes be a rather blingy overall appearance when fully high polished. Beyond that, everything else is very much what we have come to expect from modern Breitling Navitimer watches, and the B01 Chronograph 43 features a large sign-winding crown flanked by two pushers, along with a screwed-down caseback that is fitted with a sapphire display window to offer a view of the internal movement. Given that the Navitimer is a pilot's watch, water resistance isn't really a priority, and the inherent nature of the model's complex design creates multiple points for potential water ingress. While the Navitimer isn't going to be your underwater timekeeping companion, it is still sufficiently protected against daily incidental encounters with a fairly standard 30 meters of water resistance.